so happy to be here. All right, so how do I click through? You guys are being patient. All right, so I'll introduce myself. I am Kristi Radke. I'm the Director of International Programs and Services at Ohlone College. I've been working with international students like you for over 13 years now, okay? And I've been at Ohlone College for over 11 years, okay? I have a master's degree in cross-cultural psychology from Brunel University in London, and I've traveled to 38 different countries. I love traveling, I love going to new places, and this is my first time to Daegu, so I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Alright, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about community colleges, alright? Then I'll talk about Ohlone College, and then how to join us, how you can come and study in the US. So this is a typical undergraduate study path, okay? So you study for 4 years in order to get your bachelor's degree, right? So some students may need some preparation work, so that's before year 1. If you have low English skills, for example, then you may need to take some English classes. I think that all of you will need to do that. So year 1 and year 2 in the US is what we call general education, okay? So during these first 2 years, you'll be studying all kinds of different classes, right? You will choose a major, so your major may be engineering. You'll take lower division foundational engineering classes, as well as art classes, history classes, psychology, sciences, a wide range, probably similar to what you're studying now, right? Just at a college level. So in year 1 and year 2, you have to complete 60 units of coursework, okay? And these first 2 years can be done at a community college or at a university. After your first 2 years, if you go to a community college, you can get an associate's degree, okay? So that's basically halfway to your bachelor's degree, right? Year 3 and year 4 are what we call upper division coursework. This is when you will decide what you want to focus on, okay? So maybe you decide, I want to do engineering. In your last 2 years, you may decide, I want to do electrical engineering. And so you'll focus in on a specific type of your major, or like for instance, international business. So the first 2 years is the foundation, and the last 2 years you're really focusing in on what you want to do. Okay? And we call it upper division, and you need 60 more units in order to get your bachelor's degree. Okay? So 120 units total for bachelor's degree, 4 years. Okay? The last 2 years of your bachelor's degree can only be done at a university. When you do 2 years at a community college and 2 years at a university, we call this a 2+2 bachelor's degree, okay? So 2 years at California community colleges, and then 2 years at a California State University or University of California school. And these are really the advantages of coming to community college. This is why international students choose to come to Ohlone. 1, we have low tuition costs and high quality education. So you're taking the same classes that you would take at a University of California school at Ohlone. It's the same curriculum for your English class, for your history class, it's the same exact one that you would take. But our tuition is much lower. We also have small class sizes. So our classes are 20 to 30 students average. At the big universities, sometimes you're in a class of 500 students. Can you imagine? Huge auditoriums full of students. So nobody wants to raise their hand, right? Would you want to ask a question with 500 students? No. So when you have small classes, students tend to do better and they get to know their teacher. We have strong student support and advising. So we have academic counselors that will sit down with each of you and help you develop an education plan. Okay? So you can tell your advisor, I want to go to UC Berkeley for business. Okay? And they will say, okay, you need to take these classes each semester, you need to have these grades, you need to do these other activities if that's what you want to do. Okay? So a lot of hand-holding, a lot of support. We also have transfer admission guarantees with UCs and transfer pathways to CSUs. I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but essentially, we make it easy for you to transfer to university, so you don't have to worry that you're going to get into a university. And then lastly, our instructors are focused on teaching. They're at Ohlone because they like to teach. They're not doing their own research on the side, which is often the case. That's why you have classes of 500 at big universities, because the professors are doing other work. Our instructors, they like to teach. They're probably like your teachers here, where they're here because they enjoy it. All right, so I'll tell you a little bit about Ohlone College. So our campus is growing. Last month, we opened 3 new major buildings in the center of our campus. So it's beautiful now. I wish that actually I had more pictures to show you, but they just opened them, so they haven't even given me the pictures yet. But these are some drawings. We have a new arts building, a new science center, and a new learning commons, which includes a library and study sessions. So Ohlone College ranks in the top 10 community colleges in California. There are 115 community colleges in California. So, we're number 6 for transfer success, so we have a really good reputation helping students to go on to universities. So Ohlone College is right here. You see that little bay right in the middle of the state? We're in Fremont, California. Okay, that's near San Francisco. It's in Silicon Valley. You can actually take the train. It's about 45 minutes from San Francisco. Okay, it's a great location. There is the weather is not too hot. It's not too cold. So it's a really nice place to live. So our international students, here are our top 5 countries of origin. This is where our students come from. China, Vietnam, India, Myanmar, Taiwan. Right below that is Korea. So you're not far behind. But we would really like to have more Korean students on our campus, which is why I'm here. So these are our top 5 transfer schools. So this is where our international students go after they finish Ohlone. Right? San Jose State University is number 1. This is a California State University, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's very close to our campus, and it has a really good reputation. Some great programs there. Right behind that are UC Davis, UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego. Do you guys recognize those names? Yeah, they're popular universities. They're very difficult to get into. You have to be a very good student to go to those. Okay? Alright. So we have 195 different degrees and certificates. So when the students ask me, what can I study at your college? I say, almost anything. We have a really wide range. because, like I told you, we are the foundation of a bachelor's degree. So we're providing you with all those lower division classes, all right? But these are some of our popular majors: business administration, computer science, because we are in Silicon Valley, engineering, biotechnology, art, communications. Okay? So we have an English Language Institute. I'll kind of skip over this because I think most of you have very good English skills already. But we do have a program that if you can't get a high enough TOEFL score, or you feel like you need more English, you can come and study English with us before you start your degree program. All right, so this is a comparison of the tuition and fees. Okay, so at Ohlone, our tuition is about $7,600 US. Okay, so it's very affordable compared to most universities in the United States. You can see that public universities, so CSUs, range from about $25,000–$30,000 per year. Some UCs can pay $40,000 per year for international students. And then private universities like Stanford is in the Bay Area, and those are even more expensive. So you're saving a significant amount of money when you do 2 years at a community college and then 2 years at a public university rather than all 4 years at a university. It makes it much more affordable for students to come and study in the US. All right, we also have transfer admission guarantees. I mentioned this before. So we have agreements with some University of California schools. So if you come to Ohlone, you get mostly A's and B's. Okay? These schools right here will automatically admit you as a student. Okay? They say, okay, we know if you get mostly A's and B's at Ohlone College, we know that you will be a good student for us. Okay? So it takes the anxiety and the worry that you won't be able to get into a good school. You know you'll be able to get into a good school as long as you are mostly A and B student. And some of these are top-ranked schools. UC Davis has an amazing reputation for a lot of biology, medicine. UC Santa Barbara, UC Santa Cruz are also really great schools. Alright, so how do you come and be a part of Ohlone College? The application process is pretty easy, alright? So we need your academic records. You need to either be 18 years old or completed high school, okay? So you just send us your transcripts, your diploma, showing that you finished high school, right? We need English scores. For you guys, since you're being taught all your classes in English, you actually don't need to take the TOEFL or IELTS. If you studied here for 3 years, then you don't need to take TOEFL or IELTS. We know you have English, so you're good enough English, okay? And then we need a bank document, and this is for immigration purposes, so that you can get your visa, all right? It needs to show close to $22,000. And you're not paying that, it's just, you have to show it on a bank statement. And then we have a $50 application fee, $50 mail fee. So once you have all of these documents collected, including our application, you just scan and email everything to us. So you don't have to take the SAT, the ACT, you don't have to take any of the standardized tests. You don't have to write an essay for entrance, okay? It's very simple, okay? When you go on to a university, they will ask you to write some essays, but you will have the support from our transfer center to help you with that process, okay? So they will help you to do the essays, they'll edit it for you, and give you pointers and stuff. So it's a lot easier in your second year of college to write a university essay than it is right now, right? All right. So when to apply? For a degree program, we have 2 starts. One in late August and one in late January. Okay. The deadlines are June 30th and November 30th. However, I would say those are very late. Try to apply as soon as possible. So if you're graduating this year and you want to come for the fall semester, please apply probably by April, so you have enough time to process everything. Okay. So I have a few testimonials here, right? So these are students, international students who came to Ohlone and then transferred on to a university, okay? And they talk a little bit about their experience. This girl is from Myanmar. She came to Ohlone and then she went to UC Berkeley, right? She graduated a few years ago and she works full-time at Facebook now. Okay? Yeah, very exciting. This is Iskil. She's from Malaysia. She studied at Ohlone and then she transferred to the University of Michigan, okay, for engineering, which is a very good school. Yeah. She just graduated not too long ago. And if you read through these testimonials from these students, what they're saying is that when they came to Ohlone, they received the support that they needed in order to do well in their classes. Okay, so they were able to get good grades, right, and kind of acclimate to the U.S. culture because they were in a smaller school like Ohlone. Okay, and they knew people like me, and they knew people like our academic advisors who they could go to if they had questions and needed help. And here's one more. This is Kevin. He's from China. He went to UCLA for business economics, and then he went back to Shanghai and opened his own business there. Yeah. So a lot of success stories, a lot of students who are coming from overseas, coming to Ohlone, and then doing really well in their bachelor's degree. Okay. All right. So that's all I have for you. Do you guys have any questions for me? Yeah.
What is the total cost of attendance?
Yeah, so the cost per year is $7,600 approximately.
Including room and board?
No, not including room and board. So we estimate that to live and study for 1 year, okay? So that means housing, food, transportation, books, everything is about $21,900. Okay, but it ranges, so it'll depend on the person, right? So we'll have some students who want to have their own apartment with a swimming pool. Okay, it's going to be a lot more expensive than that. And then some students are happy to share a room, an apartment with other students, and then it's going to be lower cost than that. So that's just an estimate. It's just really going to depend on you, how much it costs. But the tuition and fees, which is the only real set amount, is that $7,600 for 12 units for 2 semesters.
What's the cost of room and board?
So we don't have dorms on campus. Yeah, so our students will do homestay, often for maybe a few months. And then they tend to make friends, and then they'll get an apartment off campus. That's what most. Great question. Anybody else have any questions?
I'm sorry, I'm not a student, but I'm kind of interested in college. For the applying to Ohlone, I heard you said about the 3 years of staying in this school, then you can automatically get into that college. Can you be more specific on that, please?
Yeah, sure. So you're talking about the transfer admission guarantees?
Yes. You said that like if the students stay in this school more than 3 years, then like the TOEFL or IELTS
Oh,
would not
for
be
admission.
necessary?
Yes. So, because we know that the students were taught in English for at least 3 years here, we know that your English is good enough to be accepted to Ohlone. So we waive the TOEFL. Yeah, so we'll waive the TOEFL or the IELTS score if you studied in an English-speaking high school for 3 or more years. Yeah. So you don't have to waste your money or your time studying for the TOEFL. Good question. So he asked, do we have scholarships for international students? So we don't have scholarships because our tuition is already so low. Okay. However, we do have students who, when they transfer to universities, make it a scholarship. We have a number of students who will go to Christian universities even in the Bay Area, and they'll get small scholarships to compensate for the extra cost for the university to get their bachelor's degree. Any other questions? Yeah.
I was just wondering if there are any jobs in the college that you have.
Yeah, so as an international student, you can work up to 20 hours per week on campus, okay? They pay about $14, $15 an hour, so it's pretty good pay. And most of our international students, they'll work in like offices, like I have student assistants that work for me, so they work in my office. We also have international students who will be tutors. So we have a whole tutoring center where if you need help in chemistry or math or English, you can go to these places and get help from your peers. You can also work in the bookstore, the cafeteria. So there's jobs on campus. Yeah, that are options. Any other questions?
I just add something for you. 이 부분은 이제 한국말로 하는 게 좋을 것 같아요. 그 담당자분 입장에서 좀 다른 부분이 있으니까 여러분이 지금 온도차가 좀 많이 다를 수 있는데 제일 최대 강점은 여러분 1학년 때 그죠? 파이낸스 굉장히 크잖아요. 심각한 차이가 있고 지금도 엄청나게 오르고 급상승하고 있는 미국에서 4년에 대한 부분이 1학년 때 여러분이 자신만 있다면 얼마든지 5분의 1, 10 나오고 돼요. 최대 5분의 1 이상 세이브를 하고 들어갈 수 있다는 강점이 있고 그 파이낸셜 중요한 그다음에 지금 내가 10대 때 어느 정도 GPA나 터플 스코어나 이런 성적이 준비가 좀 부족한 경우 있잖아요. 그죠? 그런 측면에서 봤을 때 커뮤니티 컬리지에서는 이런 것들 아까 웨이브라는 표현을 썼거든요. 그러니까 성적을 제출하지 않아도 어느 정도 조금 더 완화돼서 여러분의 어드미션을 해결하고 들어갈 수 있다는 거죠. 네. 좀 제가 생각해도 조금 레스 컴페리티브 하지만은 충분히 도전해볼 가치가 많은 사람들이 이 안에 분명히 계십니다. 그래서 조금 인식을 하고 계시고 그리고 끝난 다음에 그렇죠? 더 구체적인 질문을 할 때 우리 그런 선생님들이랑 그 교장님들 지금 교장선생님 계시지 않지만은 조금 세션을 추가적으로 가질 테니까 편안하게 질문하실 분들 많이 오세요. 그렇죠? 많이 오셔서 관심 좀 많이 가지시면 좋을 것 같아요. 추가적인 질문 하도록 하겠습니다. 질문 없으세요? 그럼 첨부 계속 질문을 원하시면
Any other questions? So I have a question for you. Who wants to come and study in California? Who's thinking about studying in California? Anybody?
캘리포니아 가고 싶으세요?
Yeah? Did you have a question? Yeah, so we do have some Korean students. We have, I think, about 15 right now, okay? And we have like 350 international students total. So it's actually a pretty small percentage. I think it's good because there's some students for you to make friends with, but it's not so many students that you only know Korean people, right? You're going to the US and it gives you an opportunity to meet Americans and other international students. Okay. Question? What's the maximum? So no, we don't offer any scholarships because our tuition is already so low.
그러니까 7,600 1년에 just 800만 원. 지금 여기 이제 많이 대학 등록금 단체에 감이 없으신 분들이 많아서 비교가 잘 안 되시는데 간 선배들은 일반적으로 해마기에 2천만 원씩 빠지는 경우가 하다가 이상하시고 투이션 어떤 차이인지 아시겠죠? 얼마큼 우리가 세이브하고 들어가니까.
So on the brochures that you all got, on the back side is my email address. Okay? So if you go home and you talk to your parents and you have more questions, feel free to email me anytime. Okay? I'm happy to hear from you. Yeah, you have a question? So she asked how many years does she have to study? So it's actually only 2 years of study. Yeah, so 2 years with us, and then you just do 2 more years at a university for your bachelor's degree. So 4 years total, 2 years with us, and then 2 years at a university. Good question?
So, can I transfer to other universities with only having the Ohlone College GPA without taking any SAT or ACT?
Without taking the ACT or SAT?
Well, to transfer to
Yes. So when you transfer, even when you transfer to university, they don't require you to take those tests. You don't have to take them at all. Yeah. So they know if you come to Ohlone and you're getting the grades that you get at Ohlone are proof of your skills, your knowledge. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. Education major. So we have early childhood studies. Okay. But like I was saying, we have the first 2 years that they're foundational. So we don't have a specific major for education. But you could do your foundational with us, and then you would transfer to an education major. You have a question? Artificial intelligence major. I don't know. I would have to look it up. I know that we definitely have classes in it, and probably for a certificate. But my guess is that it's probably part of a larger major. Yeah. But you email me and I can send you all the information about it. Okay. Yes.
When we transfer to other universities, that the university accepts all the credits that we.
Yes, good question. So the California education system is set up for community college and the universities in California to sync up. Okay, so all the classes that you take, every class will say that it's either UC or CSU transferable. Okay, so all the classes that you're going to be taking will be UC or UC transferable. Okay. Any other questions? Great. Well, I will be here for a little while. If you want to come up and talk to me, feel free. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Okay? Thank you so much.
I just want to know about like living expenses and morning, like just hosting or
Yeah, so homestay, it depends on, it's a month to like $1,000 a month.
900. Wow.
And that, yeah, it'll include, I think, one meal. So it'll include like dinner. And what kind of place you want to live in, if you want to share with other people or not. You know, I mean, there's such a range that it's hard for me to say, oh, this is going to be the exact cost, right? There's going to be a wide range of different options, yeah. But the homestay one is the one that is like set, like you know how much that is, right? But if you share an apartment with 3 other people, it's going to be lower cost than that. Any other questions?
How much goes for replacing the lunch plan in the school?
So we don't have a meal plan, which a lot of students actually like because they're not required to pay out that money. And so you can kind of, you can bring food from home to campus, and we have microwaves, and you can prepare your own food on campus. They are building a new cafeteria, so you'll have different options on campus. There's places across the street off campus that you can go to as well. So there's lots of options for food. You can range everything from very nice to less expensive. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So she's asking about like the classes, like what kind of classes you'll take. So the quality, like I said, actually I've had a lot of students this past few weeks who have gone on to universities. So they transferred and then they came back and they talked to me and they were like, I really miss Illinois. Because they were like, the teachers taught us, you know, that's what they enjoyed doing. And so they weren't just like, here, read these textbooks, right? And then we'll give you a test on it. They actually taught you the material and help you through it. You can ask questions to your teachers. And so, in my opinion, I think the classes are higher quality. So we have about 20-30 students in a class. That's the average size. Average, yeah. Some will be bigger, some will be smaller.